Hello, I'm Kevin, an exercise science student. So this video is gonna be to demonstrate some of the strength training that I can do as a practitioner with my client who is a wrestler with a neck discectomy 6 months ago, and the main objective is to recover the strength. But based on the level of strength that the client has, let's say that the client strength is around 60% to 70% of what the client wants to achieve. So the initial stage of the strength training is gonna focus more in the stabilizers of the neck, before progressing to a higher intensity that is gonna be more than 85% of one rep max. So first we're gonna start between the 60 to the 80% range of the strength training. We can do some isometric exercises, more like a combination of muscle endurance hypertrophy before progressing to basic strength and power exercises that are going to be more functional to the client. So one of the exercises that I'm going to instruct the client to do is going to be the floor cobra. This is going to be more muscle endurance, and not only is going to work on the neck musculature isometrically, but also in the shoulder girdle musculature, because in order to perform the floor cobra, the client will have to retract the scapula, and that could be one of the musculature is going to be also affected because of the injury that the client has. So the client can do this exercise either way isometrically, or the client can then perform a extension of the trunk at the same time that is retracting the scapula, and we're gonna try to do this in a slow tempo. Hold it there, back down, and because this phase is gonna be more like endurance, so the range of reps is gonna be around like 12 reps of this exercise before moving to the next one. And we're gonna rest about 30 seconds before doing the other set. We're gonna do 2 to 3 sets of this exercise. Can you do it one more time? So another of the exercise that I can instruct the client to perform is gonna be the neck plank. It's gonna be in an isometric hold, and it's gonna work, in this case, it's gonna work on the client left lateral flexor of the neck. So depending on the initial condition of the client, he can increase the inclination relative to the floor to increase the pressure and the resistance that he had to do with his neck musculature. And we can hold that position, as well as we can also do like some eccentric, going back to the wall and trying to contract, to concentric contraction. And then after we do one side, we're gonna alternate and do the contralateral side. We can do it isometrically for more muscular endurance, or we can do it eccentrically, wall to the wall, and then concentrically contract back to initial position. The main resistance center force is gonna be in this exercise is gonna be the reaction force from the wall. And after we achieve like some building blocks for strength, we can progress on to more difficult exercises. So in addition to the neck plank in the frontal plane, we can also do this exercise in the sidal plane to work in the musculature. In this case, the reaction force is gonna put Daniel into neck extension, so he has to contract the neck flexors in this exercise. And the same, he can do it isometrically or going through the 3 muscle contractions, stop, and he can even do it the opposite direction. So he will have to contract now the neck extensors to perform this exercise. So as we progress into intensity, we can also do exercise with the elastic bands. So can you come here, Daniel? So let's suppose that we have elastic bands. Sit down, please. So we want to make sure that the client is in a stable position, and we're gonna use elastic band to perform like lateral flexion. So the client has to contract concentrically to go to left lateral flexion and then go back to initial position. We want to make sure that we're going to work in the 3 planes of motion, in addition to the 3 type of muscle contraction. So after we do like 8 to 10 reps, depending on the torque that is generated in the elastic band, we can do it in the cycle plane. So the client now has to work on the neck sensors concentrically and eccentrically going back to initial position. And we also can do it like in the transverse plane. The client can start in this position, and the band, I'm gonna try to adjust it so we keep the 90-degree angle where it's creating the more torque. And now the client can eccentrically go back to initial position. I'm gonna be adjusting it. Now he's gonna contract concentrically and go to that position again. And we're gonna do it in both sides. As we progress with the training program for the client, we can do like more intense exercise. This is gonna be more in the strength scheme, which is like between the 85% to maximal strength generation. So I can do like manual resistance. So Daniel is positioned in this in the table like this, so I can efficiently use the gravity as well as my body weight to apply force and generate a neck extension torque. So can you press against my hands? So then it's gonna be into concentric neck flexion, and then I can apply torque in this direction to create eccentric muscle contraction. Go again. And relax. And we can use the hand grip dynamometer to measure the force that the client generated. So depending on the position the client is gonna lie down, he can move to the side position, then lie down your side, yeah, in the table, or your side, in your foot, sideways. So now I can apply the force to generate right lateral flexion torque, and the client now has to control the left lateral flexors. So I'm gonna be controlling how much torque I'm gonna apply to the client. So the next exercise that we're gonna perform is called the neck bridge, and this is gonna be really functional for wrestler because it's a position that they usually get into when they are in the fight. So the intensity of this exercise is gonna be a lot greater than those that we performed before. So the client gonna start down in supine position. So now you're gonna perform a contraction at your neck, and you're gonna elevate your body weight with your neck as much as you can. Whenever you're ready, good job. And go back down. So depending on the strength level of the client, first we can do isometrically or even just the eccentric portion of the exercise. And as we develop more strength, we can try to do the full range of motion with concentric and isometric and eccentric muscle contraction. The exercise that we just did before was the neck bridge. So as we progress in the intensity of that exercise, we can even do it with a quick muscle contraction to get it to be more like power focused. But in addition to that exercise, we can do another functional exercise. It's gonna be power focused. It's gonna work on the lower extremities. That is very important for the sport demands of wrestling. And this exercise also gonna work in the upper body. So the client, to perform the power clean, the client also has to shrug the shoulders, which is related to the shoulder girdle and one of the musculature that is related to this sport. So for the power clean, the client is gonna stand about hip to shoulder width. It's gonna stand starting this position right here. Gonna protract the shoulders and gonna have the spine neutral, and then it's gonna perform a triple extension at the hip, at the knee, and the ankles, and then gonna shrug the shoulders at really high speed, and then catch the bar right here.